honey child. Now you know I'm greedy. Cinnamon roll caramel apples? But first, let me introduce myself. I'm the DIY Queen Diva. I'm going to show you how to make these delicious apples. But first, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell to keep updated with me and all of my videos on the weekends and pop-up videos during the week.
Granny Smith apples and you rinse them off really good and you dry them down with a paper towel. Then you get your wooden sticks and you just stick them in each apple.
I am using my kitchen mallet just to hammer the wooden sticks down.
Okay, so next I am going to dry my apples off again. I am going to take a paper towel and just make sure the top of the apple is good and dry as well. Because once you place your apple sticks down in the apple, there's a big possibility that juice will pop out. So you want to make sure your apples are good and dry. And then I'm just going to wipe them down again. So just make sure you get all the apple juice from the top of your apple. So now I am going to place these in the refrigerator and let them get cold because I am going to dip the apples a little over halfway because I do want the top of the apple to show. I want the green part to show, so I will go ahead and put these in the refrigerator. But yes, you can clean your apples like you clean candy apples if you want, but there's no need when you place them in the refrigerator. So you can place these in the refrigerator and let them get cold while you're working on your caramel. Someone asked, well, do you clean your apples like you do candy apples? You can. It's no problem. It's just that I want some of this green to show on the top of my apple. So I just rinse them off really good. And as long as your apples are really cold, the caramel will stick on the apple. But you can also clean your apples just like you clean candy apples. There's no problem with that as well. Okay, so let's start on our caramel. Let me get these in the refrigerator. Okay, so I am going to be using caramel bits, and these are made by Kraft. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of butter.
And this is unsalted butter.
And this is just so the caramel doesn't stick to the pot. So in order to get your caramel to taste like cinnamon rolls, we're going to use this brand, Cinnabon Classic Cinnamon Roll by International Delight. So this is what I am going to use to flavor my caramel. This is going to be so awesome. You guys know I am so greedy. So I like all of my food, including my apples, to taste really good. So it's Cinnabon Classic Cinnamon Roll, International Delight Creamer. So we're going to use this creamer to get our caramel apples to taste like cinnamon rolls. So it's going to be a caramel cinnamon roll candy apple, okay?
So once your butter is melted, go ahead and add your caramel bits. Do not use the squares. Use these little small round bits. For some odd reason, these work better than the squares, although they are the same brand.
So you just add a bag of caramel and a half a cup of the cinnamon roll creamer. Okay, so I'm going to give this a stir. So you want to stay at your pot and continue to stir until all of your caramel bits are melted.
So once your first bag is good and melted, you can go ahead and add another bag. Stir your caramel up until all is melted.
Okay, so you do have the option to put pecans on your apples, and I am just going to crush these pecans. Okay, and you just pour them in the bowl. Place that to the side. Let's get our cold apples and dip. So remember, I do want the green top to show.
Just let your caramel drip off the apple, and if you need to scrape the bottom on the side of the pot, go ahead.
Okay, and you just place your apple on the silicone mat. I'm going to dip again. I'm going to scrape just a little caramel off. And this time I am going to dip my apple in the pecans. For those who want pecans, they can have pecans on the apple. Okay. And you just place it on the silicone mat. Or, yeah, you just place it on the silicone mat. And you bring your apple up. These are like the perfect caramel apples, and it's really fast and quick to make. And I am just letting the caramel drip off the apple. So when you're putting pecans on, make sure you go ahead and put the pecans on right away after you get all the caramel off. Well, after you get all the caramel from dripping on the bottom. This is like the perfect candy apple. So basically you let the caramel drip first, and then you go ahead and scrape the bottom. So look at this. This is the perfect candy apple. All right, and I am going to place this one also on the silicone mat. So you can spray a little Pam on your silicone mat so that your caramel doesn't stick to the mat or your parchment paper. So you can use parchment paper or silicone mat, and you can also spray Pam down on either your silicone mat or your parchment paper.
Bye bye. Have a great weekend.